It's been a year since the last proper video that I uploaded to this channel. I had intended to make a follow-up multiple times, like throughout the year. Like I would maybe record something, but then I just wouldn't go anywhere with it. I wouldn't edit it. Either I didn't have the time to actually make it, or I just didn't feel like it. But I figured it's been long enough at this point, and I do have like a couple things that I actually want to talk about. I have more of a purpose, even though I haven't really made an outline of this video at all. So I've had a lot of character development in 2023, and recently I've sort of come to the realization that everything I do or think is in some way influenced by how other people perceive me, but not how other people actually perceive me, but how I think other people perceive me. I've got a big ego, and I've gotten pretty good at hiding it, but it's there. And it's weird because, I think highly of myself, but I only really do that when I think other people think highly of me. I'm inclined to have a high self-esteem, but it's only validated when I think that other people think of me the same way. And when I think other people think poorly of me, that sort of destroys my confidence completely. And what does this have to do with anything? Well, it does. Back when I was actively making YouTube videos, it did impact the way that I made them, because I wanted to make videos that I enjoyed, but also videos that other people, like people that I know, but also just strangers on the internet, would enjoy. But that was never really for the sake of creating entertainment. It was just for the sake of doing something that I could almost show off. But then that becomes an issue. You see, I think I might have mentioned it in the video from last year, but at least as far as I'm concerned, for the past several years, for as long as I've been conscious and growing up, I've always sort of had this notion that everything I've ever done in the past was cringe and embarrassing, except for what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is cool and hip, and I like it, and everyone else will like it. And I'm not sure how well I'm articulating that, but it really has massively impacted my style of YouTube content over the years, because I'm always trying to, as I said before, I'm always trying to make something that's cool, that makes me look cool, and it'll often be a departure from my previous content, which I now think is no longer cool. And I just mentioned the word cringe, and I think that's a pretty good way of describing how I feel. I'm cringing at myself. So naturally, I can overcome this by overcoming cringe. And how do you do that? Well, I know there's this one video, it's a scene from Wreck-It Ralph, and there's a guy saying, I'm cringe and that's based. I'll never be based and that's not cringe. There's no one I'd rather be than me. And I think that's a fundamentally good idea. As far as self-esteem is concerned, obviously it's funny, but it's also a very healthy way to perceive yourself. And I can think that to myself, and I can tell myself that the opinions of other people shouldn't affect how I perceive myself at all. And that's true, and I can know it's true, and I can think that, but then everything I do is still somehow influenced by the way I think other people think of me. And I've sort of come to the conclusion that this is because I'm at the behest of my emotions, not the thoughts, the little words floating around in my brain, but the physical feelings that I have, in my gut, whenever I'm really happy or really sad about something. The ones that are entirely dictated by neurotransmitters and brain chemicals that are just responses to external stimuli. And I don't really know much about this, so I'm sort of just conjecturing, but I assume that this has something to do with the way that humans have evolved. Like it's the same way that like compassion evolved. Like humans that are in groups and are recognized by like a social group of other people and included, they're more likely to survive. So this has resulted in most people today generally having a feeling of wanting to help other people. And it's also why most people today are so fixated on how other people perceive them, because they want to feel included in a given social group. That's just what I assume is happening with me. My lizard brain, or I guess really in this case it's more of a monkey brain because I don't think lizards can do this. It's evolved to value all of this socio-emotional stuff above all else except for like your most basic fundamental physical needs. And I think that's why, even though I can actively think verbally and explicitly state that I won't let my perception of the perceptions of others of me dictate how I feel all the time, but then like my subconscious mind or whatever, or like the neurons in my gut, it contradicts that, and that ultimately still controls me because it's how I feel physically. Hopefully that was coherent enough. But I just wanted to talk about how I'm feeling. And I guess that leads me into, am I going to continue with this YouTube channel? I'd like to. Going forward, the videos that I do make are probably just going to be like me playing Minecraft and talking about stuff. Kind of like this, except maybe less like psychologically involved. Because I like talking about things that are interesting to me, and it's nice to be able to like monologue about whatever while I'm playing a game that I enjoy. So I think I will try to adopt this format of content. That's of course assuming that I'll have the time and motivation to record and edit videos, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I just wanted to let you all know that I'm still alive. Yeah, that's all from me. I'll see you all in the next one.